throttle that he needs to just fire it up whenever needed and kick the back end out. And it's got a lovely balance to it. And they use area a lot. This is the Toyota Scout. It boasts about 600 horsepower, this one.
Sideways, goes through, does he click? Oh, he gets ever so close to clipping the bollards there. And now the famous monster energy car on the side, the Nissan GTR 7.4 litre V8 turbo.
I think that they can run these really low profile tyres so effectively. They get a lot of control out of them. The Chevrolet Rotovette, this had a fire problem, didn't it, earlier today?
To get on past, heads into Morecambe Bend, and he won't be going straight round it. There you go.
Yeah, well, this has the rotary engine as well, so that's all of it. This is the GRC to drift with Cali Rosentera, and so the great rally driver who is also a great drift.
Easy, don't they? Calais is also known really as the Drift King, and certainly he is. Now, here's the Eurofighter that we saw. Turbo there, built in 2008. James Dean head through Morecambe Corner.
And then this is the Lexus RTF with Ahmed Shahan, who's doing this one, posting it up. 2019, Ahmed introduced the world to the first ever Lexus RTF Drift. Let's see how this goes. Quite close to the straw bales.
Very close. He goes comfort there. Double that of your normal M4 road car. So plenty of the best will win a prize. So we've got the 3A8 on our screen to another BMW. 1,000 This is Connor Shanahan, which is actually regarded as one of the brightest young stars in the world of drifting. Started drifting at just 9 years old in the Irish Amateur Championship last year, becoming the Drift Masters that he's dealing with today. But still, looks like he's having
absolutely unique. And then, the Mark III, Jason Miller way, but they were still producing a lot of downforce by that stage. Rivals, of course, with
so many of these
as well to try and create that extra downforce. In Formula 5000, and it only raced a couple of times at Montauban. That's one of the later shadows. And started creating Formula 1 cars as well.
DN1. This actually placed third.
1973, as you say, and just looking at the 365 here. That's one car that they had. Fully developed into a sort of championship winning team. So remember, it was a private team effectively, so what they did achieve was very impressive.
Oh, hugely. Hero, who's someone that is well known to Goodwood, raced at the Goodwood members meeting and revival.
With winning races in Argentina and in Brazil. Gave the plan, they didn't quite get the chance. Nicky Lauda, Ferrari, of course. When he started with Ferrari, he managed to get the contract that he and he was part of it being modified actually in many ways. He came up with some thoughts.
For most people, the Bentley and the Bentley that took a handful of well, what's that? That's got nothing to do with Nicky Lauda, but this is obviously the tribute to Scottish racing. We've seen plenty, a few of his cars, not on screen, but we've seen a few.
So this is the 956, which was another very successful.
Mercedes celebrating 130 years in motor racing this year, and now I saw absolutely astounded.
He did actually race a streamliner at Silverstone, but found that a bit hard work. and they went more to the open wheel style.
Yeah, you can see up behind some more modern day cars bringing up the rear of the field, and you can just see the 90s.
The ground is a little bit down. Yesterday we had a nice drying run all the way up the hill. A little bit down, but hopefully we will be getting up to some drying. Now, Dixon heading up the hill, and that is the BX for the Toyota. Ford, all battling in the World Rally Championship, and we're seeing a whole mix of them here at Goodwood this weekend.
Yeah, we talk enormous cars will go up to the top of the hill. They'll also be competing on the special rally stage as well, and that's going to be slippery this morning.
Yeah, it's lovely to see the Hyundai up there. Current doing his present lap the whole weekend. Despite his Formula 1 efforts, as you say, we are expecting quite a few drivers over the course of this weekend. But we're just focusing on the Jaguar at the moment as it heads up the hill with that. And then we move
Yeah, we move to Lotus.
just taking control of this car. The 77 just got his So this is the stopping. It has that long tail. That was about aerodynamics in those days. It was about trying to reduce the drag. The front end is probably not as this is very, very successful. Time when a lot of the manufacturers today are taking a bigger engine. Yet they were getting into the idea that if you ran something a little bit lighter and smaller, it did actually become quite a... As we mentioned yesterday, he won the Bugatti collection. He's got such confidence, one hand on the wheel, on a damp surface as well. Well, this is the thing, it's made intended to fight certified speed. What has been incredibly successful vehicle that he gets. The 2 years before it went back to law 74, and it was kind of it was probably 5,000. So this was typically a bit Formula 1 car, but with the big American engine. Going into the motor to get the
really is. It's only 4 cylinders. And you can hear that chunkiness. I mean, he's sitting so high, it's a bit like people transferring from the regular side cars and moving into the MPV market. Suddenly he's even loftier in his first there, but again, just the most phenomenal machine. It is, yeah. With a of 115 miles per hour. So cut from the 15 bends at the Portland Sands. So, the Disney Channel it's just we didn't win this year. He managed just to miss out this time, just lost out a little bit in the end, but always very, very close. The last year started sounds even better, the Ferrari motor up the back. Rally Championship, they won as well. The last year starters were LDL30, that's the registration on it. It's going to be strong has been some great races, and it certainly has. Before, back in the late 1950s, even in red, so he's nursing this properly, and hopefully it's something that's to be fixed. So hopefully he's not putting more on that. Yes, this is Federico Bugatti in another of the last year starter. As we saw there was the rally version just now. Apparently was rallied extensively by Aston out. This is the
It's nice to Jerry Matthews. Specialist, isn't he? And he knows exactly what he's doing with the merging out. Look forward, and here's it on duty, pursuing top speeders, they now go 200 miles an hour, 0 to 60 in 2.2 seconds. Very, very efficient in the amount of electrical energy that it uses. And He's just getting a little bit of he knows this vehicle inside out. But it's not going to leave is in the car, and we're not confident for he's driving it.
Never did one before.
Just like, you know, the smells, everything, the memories just came flooding back.
That's a good station, but it's good fun.
And I feel bad I just interrupted your conversation earlier on, but that's part of the fun here. Big old friends.
If we are to drive around in the drive from, you know, the Auto Union until the RAC from 4 until The POWERSLIDES, that is something.
Anything you're looking forward to over the rest of the weekend?
Wait for the 26. Earlier, there will be the generators.
I'm absolutely thrilled to be joined by the reigning world.
Which is great to see. Yeah, I mean, speaking to the guys in the paddock this morning, a lot of them have just made it, so, you know, we won't see the full making their way up the... As it ran back in the 2012 season, good mining at the wheel, Alpine driver, back driver in the Formula 2 Championship. This car...
Echoing and bouncing around off that flint wall on the left-hand side now.
If you want a little tip of...
Goosebumps with another McLaren.
Once again at the wheel, this one went to 7 wins, and yet another one of
Will be in F1 Sunday afternoon, cheering on the likes of Michael Schumacher.
Car. I have to say it's a little bit different to what I drive nowadays. So much power. You know, it takes time to get used to it for sure. But it's special, right? It's just rough, real racing. It does look nice.
And to have the front, your legs over the front, so it's do the same thing. Well, take a look at the crowd. It's great to have you here, and absolutely. I heard you earlier come to
That's fine, but it's cool, isn't it? It's fun. I think for me the big thing in that is on the big car with the DFE engine, you know, the great step on it.
really good car. I enjoy driving this one. It's got a real bias to the transmission, and you have these sort of oversteer moments. You're coming out of jumps and things.
Both the XM label and the M5. The M5 is of course an iconic tailwheel in the BMW bag. Honda on the start line, and Honda out in full force this weekend. Civic Type, so you can see the rear wing on that with the spoiler on the back of it. The calm down the rear wing. And it's still just front wheel drive, putting through in some horsepower through front wheels and triple it wheels. Finding manufacturers through they're coming thick and fast now for the brand, and so we've got the descent after 323 miles of electric range that gives you. 1, 2, 3, Facebook record flag.
And Audi, they're always known for super slick cars, and this sort of is going back to that look, that super streamlined look for efficiency.
Movement. Classical it's all about form. Icon. Welcome to Tourist.
Yesterday we saw about 60
BMW i7.
There's no brand.
The gas turbine engine was one of the major technical innovations of the 20th century. The turbine engine proved more efficient than most forms of motorsport, thanks to slow reactions and high fuel consumption. The exception was on high-speed races, like the Indy 500. In 1960 was of winning the Indianapolis 500 when it retired with transmission failure. Colin Chapman saw the potential of this novel technology and later used it as the basis of the local 56.
Throughout the weekend, the Gas Arena plays host to several shows that
Popping down to his local shop with the dogs in the back.
Yeah, the dog in the boot, he's absolutely loving it. Go boot. That's how it should be. If you can pick it out through the smoke, the car smoke there, you're a better man than I. But up the hill it goes. These drivers, you might easily performance they want to spin the car around. Can we do one or six yeah, that's what it was. They pick their cars, they keep them
See what it
decided it's a regional Grand Prix and not behind the scenes to this W125.
Right, skip to the one car.
Certainly back in the day as we're coming towards.
Program for whatever it was, and then I got they didn't put enough engineering effort into really good, really impressive for somebody here for the first time. Kind of issue, there's a conflict up the walls and going for lunch. On market.
Very close between them. And now let's head on to the next stage. Martin Overington of the 259.
Flag, but he's got a teaser at the start of the huge full on offer, and that is going to continue with the Ferrari SP8 and making his way up the hill, brought here by Ferrari North Europe. This is one of Ferrari's one-off series.
No, you have to be a really special class here to get one of these. It's really one-off cars. This is based on the Spider, and it's unique bodywork. So you are equally your car to get your car. You feel very lucky to see that he's actually going overseas as cars from the last time you saw it in the UK.
Yeah, with the game.
A very special Ferrari heading up the hill now in front of you. The Ferrari SP8, one-off design in the Royal
with Pagani itself. France is fortunate to look after Pagani in the UK at the wheel here. And you'll see the actual wheels moving independently as the car loads up. The ECU decides how much downforce to add as it goes previous. I'm going to edit it. How do you say? Wire. There we go. And we got wire also on the wheel.
drive V12 engine. Understand why, but Alonso unleashes this bespoke design car that he has had a full influence on. And you can see how much Rachel Williams is enjoying it. This is the most extreme front-engine car ever. It's basically a car that Fernando Alonso has picked and chosen everything that he wants on it. The perfect company car. Yes, indeed, yes. 730 horsepower. A little bit more horsepower than the central console. The giant keeps itself still. It's 5.2 litre twin turbo V12 engine. I hope they recorded that, what was going on in McLaren. I hope so. Absolutely. Noah and Rachel, absolutely brilliant.
Hopefully we'll see him lots of times. Rolls Royce sector. I'm enjoying this car for a week and I didn't think I really enjoyed it.
I mean, just look at the way the front headlight bodywork moves on the brake on through.
Very fine drivers, but I also time up the hill. I suppose they get the willing to go.
In the front of it, that's the first ultra luxury electric super coupe. Bruno Senna's a busy boy this weekend. He's back out there, this time in the McLaren.
Active area on it as well. Well, GT is stretching it, but it's more relaxed, it's got more level space, it's still has to be sitting in front of it. But more level space is sitting in it, that's the hatchback, and you can have enormous, it's the intensity factor in the back. I have to do a 20 car, and you can put, guns and cars in the back of it as well. Not very good off-roading.
Yeah, that's certainly one. The McLaren Senna of up the hill, just ahead of bringing a huge Ferrari. We have the record holder, the McMurtry, back in action 2 years ago. This took the hill climb record and it's come back to show off what it can do. Fan cars have come a long way since the 1970s. Huge fan on the back of that, generates so much downforce.
That's huge when you see it go through there, but you can dial up the enormous amount of downforce. Well, car weighs a ton, and I think you can create 2 tons of downforce.
Yeah, that was actually the new one that they brought here. The record holder is in the stands. The new one has just...
from the supercar, but we won't leave it. It's supercar power
with a Mustang Soul. What a beautiful air. That was the RS system on the back of that. Be faster, good.
now we've got the Lanzante and Ferrari, he'll do a bit of right. Well, we have to see how long the Hurricane's been around, but it looks so modern, so really special car. This is Porsche GT3 that we
3.7 seconds on 26 miles per hour. The top speed on this Porsche 911 ST.
Temporary roof on it, so you'll see this.
Squeezer Carmen boiler at the back. This is the revival, really, of Hispano Squeezer, a long brand that has been a from Spain, and actually Luis Perez Sala at the wheel of that. He was at one point a Formula 1 driver and a former F1 team principal for the Hispano racing.
never seen one before, and there's two versions, came out in 21 and there's one in a new one in 24. I'm intrigued. I'm going to check that one out. It's so odd having that supercar look and the silence going up the hill. The owner of the car is actually going to Andy Root. P1, and we wanted to create the ultimate P1 with Lanzante. This might be his first time in the car. A very special thing.
Yeah, it certainly is. Lanzante, the UK-based engineering new upgrades on this car. Revised here, front wing and rear wing as well, as we can see, we get an up-close and personal look at it. The McLaren
could be there. Oliver's match. That's the thing. This is the next generation from 250. This is the 233. So this is slightly colour more to the 250. This is a prototype, this one, or it's an engineering car. I don't know if it's got a trick exhaust on it, but it's the best sounding of the lot. He is worried that emission controls might stop doing it, but here they are with 3 cars here.
How they describe it, cutting edge aero, lightweight carbon fibre body. A few times up the hill. The MC20, this is the John Williams and the Icona are there, but this carries very much celebrating for...
Not seen it yet, but they see these new designs with that kind of look from the previous generation. The MC12 had a very distinctive look.
Certainly is. And that MC20 making it...
You're probably too late, I think.
But it is just an absolute masterpiece. And it kind of celebrates the golden age that we're about to enjoy in endurance racing here. In that hypercar category with so many big name brands and manufacturers returning to the fray, and Ferrari being a very special addition to that. Of course, it's been in that championship for years in the GT3 category and the GT.
One final, the UK third on the time, with pro contracts and Sky 4-5 on the line.
We're on the lookout for winners on their path to pro.
Join us and compete in races E-Series,
Exotic E-Series,
all leading to secure a place at the Women's Esports Final.
The Two Wheels for Life charity for the support for people in remote areas of Africa, but also because they use motorcycles to reach those in need. I've always so enjoyed my motorcycles, and I'm delighted that we can help these charities to provide help to those who get I have no doubt that all our visitors this summer will want to help a charity that makes such a good and important cause.
more cars coming up the hill in just a moment's time. We've got some beautiful renders from the race late 1970s. Very, very wonderful to see the mixture that we have.
I very much like it when we get clustered into manufacturer groups. We've got the overall picture, but it just emphasises the spread that the manufacturers, particularly in the 60s and 70s, did. They wanted, you looked at Renault, you looked at Ford, you looked at Opel, and other manufacturers around the world. Motorsport will help them sell cars.
Wonderful machine, the 158, that we'll be seeing out in a little while. Did work for them at Le Mans, Didier Pironi and Jean-Pierre Rousseau.
Certain irony there that it managed to work for 24 hours, whereas it struggled for a very long time as well, as I said, for 3 years.
Formula 1 didn't always quite work out. The last 2 rounds to become the first Pan-Am champion. Lots of development work on it, and it's still, to my it came to be, but this last year Delta F4 is a couple of years didn't quite work out. In Formula 1, yes, it's a great increase in horsepower. Flying back position actually almost as well. I really want to see this here. Introduction to Porsche. Star, of course, in the 1960s, and went on to take many, many wins. Wonderful to see, and then this is another version of that sort of type. So this is so fishing back through the back catalogue, if you will, about these illustrious and this is Germany. Yeah, and it was so dominant in the world of rally at that point. At the moment, it's fun to see it. Now this is the other, and this is the big long bit car now. So this is a rally that starts all around Europe. Okay, so we're going to start off on the hill. Or title with Audi Quattro and multiple winners. Suddenly had all this performance coming in four-wheel drive. In comparison to some of it sided rivals. Beautiful. It is very beautiful. It's got a 2.9 and debut actually, and third by Ben Bessard. Yeah, wonderful to see. There's something tied in.
I glanced at the yellow helmet and thought it was brilliant there, but the fact is, he loves it, he infuses, his son is a
20 podiums at the hands of Sebastian Vettel and we recognise Logan Sargent there.
driving what he considers an ancient car. It still looks quite modern to me, but it's 42 years old, and he's certainly not 42 years old. So the American racer, second season Formula 1 racer.
Certainly will do. It is fascinating to see the driver seating position as well. They want some entertainment, but they might not have eardrums by the time they regretted it. They are so loud and so iconic.
It's when you can hear racing cars, wind permitting from 5 or 6 miles away, you know it's good. And certainly racing bikes as well, have fun. And now, Career, I think, is about to entertain. He always entertains, or is he just trying to remember?
Mr. DC. Top of multi-court.
And again, talking earlier about the changes in the aerodynamics of the car, this is a stage where you're
dusty as it was yesterday, feathers it through nicely, just clipping up a little bit of grass on the inside, and actually looks a little bit there, possibly out.
But nonetheless, something fun to see, and driving it today is Joseph Hopkins. Meanwhile, this is the Giga 21C. Now this is a very rapid machine, brake horsepower, so this is going to be a pretty rapid machine up the hill. So far.
Yeah, Chris, as you said, such an experience.
Of course, we will be getting all of the times. We're not getting all of them right now, though, on our time screen. But you can see it's a pretty rapid.
The commentary box window now. That'll be following up closely behind.
Of course, some we have seen. Meanwhile, the Alfa Romeo.
And we're just having a look at the times to see where Archie and Ben, so Archie and Ben across the line, Ben slightly faster, but very close. Now we're making its way up the hill.
The W125. And then those early mistakes with this
CSL Batmobile.
BB, and Johnny Cicotto now heading up the road as well. And Johnny, very, very experienced racer on the two wheels and then on the so heading up, we shall see how this
Let's have a little look. It's going to be in the 50s. Just about.
48.88, so that's just set a new target.
Yeah, so good targets there for everyone else behind. And a few other cars that went.
Yeah, good stuff. And we shall see if this let's just see as they. I think this one's not going to.
GT3, Philip Ants at the wheel, 3 straight 6.
Different categories that will be giving us an opportunity to have different winners to go through. So heading up now, the Ferrari has set the pace at 48.8. It's not quite at that level, 52.6.
In another Ferrari, the Ferrari 488 Challenge. The machine, the wheel, the neck of
so you can hear the power of that. He's got a 5.9 litre V8 in it. It's pretty light, very lightweight machine. Gabriel Aubrey, oh, that's a big lock-up, wasn't it?
oh yeah, very big, and I tell you what, those seatbelts. Touring car star, Jake Hill.
There's a lot of action on the steering wheel there, Alice, isn't there?
Yeah.
Brilliant. This is a potential challenger, I believe, for the outright. 51.19 for Jake Hill. Because this is the all-electric powered Ford van with Romain Dumas driving it. And we'll have to see whether that fits in with it. Across the line.
Passenger all glued onto the direction as well, and you can always hear the booster coming.
And it was never designed actually for this meeting, haven't we? But again, it is a land speed record machine, no body work at all, and it's onto the line.
What's your plan?
sometimes we see drivers in trouble hitting the storm bales up on the outside. So up to Balcom he comes, out goes the tail, just dusting the edge of the grassy apex of the corner, skipping the grass. The same level as the Rally 1 hybrid machine. Yeah, so not hybrid, who knows if it is, maybe 2 or 3 years out. V6, Toyota right on top of their game in off-road racing. And that wonderful transition, lots of suspension movement, I love the way it's all very yeah, he's had a lot of success, of course, at Le Mans, and a great opportunity to be back out won an awful lot of races. The Italian Championship is a very happy hunting ground. What a great race. The LM, they had the original version, just straight there. Hoping we'll take all the points. Well, they say practice makes perfect. Was that have to be practicing 6 donuts for next weekend? But I think and now, Rob, you've got to come in before you can see the apex, round the corner, all that downforce then. Fourth time at the Dakar, remarkable. Really good. It was truly extraordinary. You know, you say with the manufacturer, a bit like Fangio in the 1980s. And now the hypercar. For the BMW crews, whereas Ferrari had already 1 season in advance, the Porsche likewise. Getting out. To a large extent, to Gilles de Ferro, who we are making taken on him a lot when he was doing that car, and when he won that race. So CS is a new version just out, 500 horsepower, all-wheel drive, it's all out that yellow light. Yeah. It just looks cool, and it's, BMW it sounds that reason. As well, it does sound great, straight, because it is so robust, and there's lots of tuning happening in this car, carbon roof, and he's caught the Bentley continuation speed.
Its way back to the checkered flag, the S4 CS, and it, well, really, of cars from Genesis in particular. This is the GV60. This is the premium brand of Dynamic debut, and well, we've got cars from
themselves in the UK, and you're seeing MGs on a regular basis.
A couple of mini.
At one time it was just the one car we had in the UK. Now look at the range, how it quickly it's grown. And if this one comes to market, I think it's going to be really exciting. I can't see it's actually going to make it, but you can private import it, and that's where you see 1 or 2 of them in the UK.
Well, if you see them in the UK, you'll know what you're looking at. Now, heading up the hill is the Toyota Geos, 440 kilowatts of power output as well, delivering some of that horsepower, has a boost mode too, if it's not enough for you.
Yes, it's our engine, turbocharged and supercharged, and depending on the tune, I don't 550 horsepower, and it only weighs 1,000.
Something to take a look at if you are wandering around the Festival of Speed this afternoon. Now, we did see some umbrellas go up from up here at the moment. Harry Benjamin and Harry Metcalf still with you, and we are gearing up for some more supercar runs up the hill. They're just gearing up, though. They're just actually taking the first class rally action so far from today.
Under cloudy.
The line, careering off the line, oh, and the Subaru then, the Kankanen U-Haul
130 years later, presenting this original vehicle from that time, being restored to the Pagani Huayra track car developed without any rule constraints, with one exception. The charm of Le Mans cars and the World Sports Car Championship of the 1960s.
Had to own it.
Well, from Pagani to Ferrari, as we get a look at this 296 GT.
This is the convertible version, it's a hard top, folding hard top, 296 V6, and it's hybrid car.
Yeah, there is a plug-in electric motor, isn't there?
Yeah, and it just flies, and we're all worried about the V6. You shouldn't have worried, it still sings like you expect Ferrari. And now we've got the Ferrari 812 Competizione Aperta convertible again, and very limited car, and people are paying a huge amount of money to own that car.
Yeah, 830 horsepower in that, and this, the Ferrari Daytona SP3 rear-wheel V8. The Ferrari Daytona SP3, Pat Blakeney at the wheel, and this, again, another beautiful design from Ferrari.
Again, and this is the one, these are the special versions, they are production, but you have to be right up the list to even be offered to buy one of these cars. I think this one is the one with the roof comes off. It's just looking at that panel on it, and it's attached at the moment. But it was based on the Ferrari 812 and their incredible racing cars from the Le Mans GT series from the 70s.
Yeah, this inspired by that 1967 Daytona 24-hour Ferrari, paying homage, and we see that more and more in
I just love it. There's no reason to produce it just because they can and people want to buy them, and they're very special cars.
across the line, looking rather quick as it takes the checkered flag at the finish line to a hypercar. Where do you sit on the supercar ladder? Are you, well, I don't know what's on the bottom end of a supercar ladder, but the top end certainly seems like it's a hypercar, and that is one of them, a McLaren Solid T2. Ross Bell last year, and single-seater, central seating position, and it's a powerful beast.
I think it's amazing that they actually produced
the most extreme front-engine car ever, and it is being designed with Fernando Alonso in mind. In fact, it's basically Fernando Alonso's wish list of things he wants on a car.
Where they do, the production version is the Valor. He went along, it couldn't turn into a track car, could I have one? And they tell me it's his track car. I'm just seeing who's actually driving. He did drive it earlier up the hill. He was just finding his way around the hill. It was great. 230 horsepower. And the main thing about this car,
through the checkered flag now, as we get more Ferraris on option. This is the Ferrari SP8, a one-off series from Ferrari.
indeed it is, and this is right at the top of the list where you actually commission a one-off Ferrari. They will not make any other car that looks like this. The base car was the Ferrari F8, and this car I know is heading to the Far East, so this will probably be the last time you'll ever see it in the UK. Glimpse it, because you'll never see it again. Just stunning.
Yeah, that's Ferrari 3.9 litre twin-turbo V8. As we go from Ferrari to McLaren, and it's the McLaren GTS.
Yeah, this is completely different to this car though. The McLaren Senna, Bruno Senna at the wheel of this car, and this was they just see how light they could make their car, and also added extra horsepower. I think it's just over 800 horsepower, this, and 1350 kilos, and with active area you'll see the wing moving as it goes up the hill.
Yeah, just over 1,100 kilos this, that adjustable rear wing, lightweight design as well for the McLaren Senna, and then there is the McLaren P1.
Yeah, this the first sort of hybrid supercar came out along with Ferrari, and this one I've been lucky enough to do a Nürburgring with in this car, and it was extraordinary. The turbo boost, and it's one of the noisiest wastegate turbos puffing away and so quick. Around the Nürburgring. It's a 6-minute something. They didn't declare a time, and again, super active area. It goes in track mode. I don't think this is in track mode.
And has the lap record for the hill climb 2 years ago in the hands of Max Chilton, and it is that fan that sucks everything underneath it, spurts it out of the back, which is why you see it lift up so much.
Further 2 tons of downforce from that fan.
That was quick. And that is it, along with the record holding.
It's stunning.
Yeah, good driver to have at the wheel. Marino Franchitti, 2-time British GT champion, 2-time Sebring 12-hour winner as well. Now this is rather unique. Zagato La Squadra AGTZ
form. This was a very enterprising Polish dealer, supercar dealer, the Squadra, and then create 19 of them, as I understand it, when I pop.
And the passenger absolutely loves the passenger seat. Indeed, the Lamborghini behind has
Lamborghini sold out to 2026. They were telling me it's proved incredibly popular. V12, or the little, very clever hybrid system. Tiny battery, only 3.8 kilowatt battery. And now we have the hybrid new Porsche 911, the GTS. First time in the UK, and it has a hybrid system on its smallest battery. But what's really clever on this is you take your foot off the accelerator, they actually have an electric motor, and they generate electricity to feed the batteries. The turbos spin down. So there's so much tech on these modern cars. New take, super quick, because it infills the turbo boost, the electric boost, and harvests electric from the turbos.
Yeah, Porsche with a full-on display here. This is the Porsche Taycan Turbo GT, 162 in 4.8 seconds, 3.8 kilowatt max power, 143 miles per hour top speed, 510 mile range.
The Turbo GT though is the super quick 900 horsepower version of the Taycan. They come in various flavors. This is the top one as I understand it, and it's done incredible time around the North Star, just set a new record for electric cars.
And look at this, that design immediately harks back to the good old days and the Marlboro-infused livery. The Lanzante,
the Porsche 935. So Porsche produced these 935 track-only cars to celebrate the infamous 935 race car from the past. Lanzante, a very enterprising company, took it. A customer asked, "Can you turn it into a road car?" Well, he said, "Yeah, we think we can." And this is one of the 2 that have been converted to road use. Hardly looks like a road car to me. Apparently, it's fully now legal to drive on the road and go down very quickly.
You would definitely know if you come across that on the M25. 77 of those. And now this from Bugatti is something out of this world.
Unbelievable, this car. Yeah, they thought, how light could we make a Bugatti Bugatti? This car, they stripped nearly half a ton out of the Bugatti. It's still 1,600 horsepower. Andy Wallace at the wheel, he's the development driver for Bugatti. Just glorious to see.
That Bugatti as well, the last car from them with the 8-litre W16 turbo charged engine. So that is something to behold. As we have the Koenig
Speed, yes, because it's super slippery and huge horsepower from this. 1280 horsepower on pump fuel, or 1,600 horsepower on E85 fuel, which they use in Scandinavia.
Making its way up the hill. You don't see many of these. Single-seater central seating position. The Singer 21C, Chris Ward at the wheel of this.
Fascinating car, this. I didn't realise it had 3 electric motors and V8, done in America, 950 horsepower from the engine, 11,000 RPM, and a total of 1,250 horsepower with electric motors and 1,250 kilos in weight, and just a small battery on it. Super quick. Incredible technology. I'm dying to have a closer look at this car.
Actually, I think I said a single-seater. I think it's just a central seating position because
Yeah,
there is a
there's
car
this passenger seat.
in the back. So I take my words back on that one. It's a hybrid sports car, and that wing on the back developed by 3D printing. They can do anything these days. T50S, Nicky Lauda, XP2s and Gordon Murray.
And this one is a track-only special, so this has the greatest sound of all the Gordon Murray automotive because it's free exhaust, and you can just hear it sing up to its 12,000 RPM regularly, just going up the hill.
Adjustable aero on this rear-mounted delta wing, inspired by the front wing of the 1983 Brabham. The BC
Very clever technology, which is C12 livery with a white and blue as well going up the hill, and this one obviously is inspired. Well, there you go, there's the MC12 colour scheme on an MC.
And we also have the Icona as well out on the hill climb.
A very distinctive colour scheme, you have to say.
The baby blue emblazoned on the 20 of the Icona, individually available as it makes its way up the hill.
And the sun is coming out as well, which is very kind of it.
Where's that caught up earlier with Vanessa Ruck of Charity Air Plus One?
Just outside the ballroom paddock, there's a you can go and see, and I've actually bumped into Vanessa Ruck, who is an absolute superstar with the Two Wheels for Life stand. So Vanessa, I feel like I need to ask you first, you're here at the stand, tell us a bit about what Two Wheels for Life is and why you're here.
So they are the official charity partner for the festival, and they are a incredible charity doing things that motorsport addicts are going to love. Effectively, it's the mobilisation of healthcare across rural places in Africa, and pick up the phone, call an ambulance, go down a tarmac road in a beautiful vehicle, but in places in rural Africa, you've got roads that are like an enduro track, and so the mobility of healthcare on motorbikes and cars is literally saving lives. So as a motorbike and car addict, it's a charity that just brings everything that I love sport.
Yeah, it's something that you're really passionate about, and like you say, you're a car enthusiast and a bike enthusiast, and you've had quite a few adventures recently. So tell us a bit about those, because I'm aware you did the Africa Eco Race, and you've also been rallying in your car. Talk us through some of your adventures that you've had recently.
Yeah, so N+1 when it comes to motorcycles and cars, just so you know, they breed. I started on motorcycles. I had a little bit of a strange introduction to motorcycles because I actually got hit by a car in 2014, life-changing, 7-year recovery, 7 surgeries, and I now have a reconstructed shoulder and hip and live a managed chronic pain. Now, through the mental health journey, I discovered motorbikes, and as a lot of bikers will understand, there is a massive mental uplift that motorbikes bring, but it escalated a little bit, and it turned a little bit more extreme, got me into the racing, and I've now done some pretty hefty races on the 2 wheels. So we've got my beautiful rally bike here, have just done our most recent race in January this year, the original Dakar Africa Eco Race, which is 6,000 kilometres, 13 days, and this year 56% of the people that started on a motorbike finished. So to become the first British female to successfully finish that race was a sweaty one that I'm really proud of it.
Yeah. And truly inspirational, Vanessa, that you've changed what was quite an impactful event to this positive way of life that you live now, that helped your journey. So it's really inspirational, and you're about to take on a new adventure as well, because you've just announced that you are pregnant. So how do you feel about this almost new journey that you're about to go on?
Terrifying. I know there's millions of people around the world, that billions of us have had babies before, but it's just totally new when you're doing it for the first time. At the moment I look like I've just eaten too much cake, so I'm not quite at the bit where people can tell, but it's going to be an exciting new journey. Everyone keeps asking me, are you going to stop riding, are you going to stop getting the rally car? Of course I'm not. Having a child, starting a family, and putting my investment into somebody else doesn't mean I have to stop investing in myself and what I enjoy doing. There's going to be a pause, because naturally you have to look after your body and put some priorities into them. But I have a very supportive family, and I'm going to be getting straight back out there as soon as I can. Massively focusing on the 4 wheels. My pain is certainly getting to the point where I've realised that I need to look after my home and preserve it for the later years in life. But extreme racing takes a toll on a normal body, let alone reconstructed body. So the rally cars
are massively one of my big goals and focuses, and the goal to get back in the desert with four wheels.
Well, watch this space. That's really exciting. Well, it's brilliant to be here at the Festival of Speed. Why was it important to you to bring your car, your bike, to be with the charity, particularly at the Festival of Speed?
I think for anyone in the world, it's very easy to look at other people doing stuff and think, oh, I can't do that. And the biggest message I have for anybody is that absolutely anybody can get up and go and make those dreams come true, start the journey at least. You don't have to have been driving a car for your whole life or riding motorbikes since you were young. I'm used to it and I'm just learning as I go. And by being able to come here and support a charity, I'm hopefully going to help saving of lives, really, and to spread some good energy. I said it yesterday to someone that if everyone in the world smiled at each other more, there'd be so much more happiness, and by supporting charity, you're helping other people.
Yeah, well, you definitely made me smile, and I'm sure you're spreading smiles across the festival. Thank you so much for speaking to us, Vanessa. We'll catch you about.
Thank you.
We have chosen the Two Wheels for Life charity for the 2024 Festival of Speed.